Hello guys, and welcome to the final from the Reading Games Kit at Eclectic Games. On the left we have Martin, who we saw in the last game, and on the right we have Ryan Woods, who's playing Tyrell Crossing. If you missed my last game, Martin is playing Bara Fealty. So two completely opposite style decks here. You got the rush of Ryan's deck, which tries to win by turn 3. Against the more slow, methodical control style Bara, which tends to go to about 6 or 7. So Ryan sets up with a duped Brienne, a King's Road, and I believe that's the new location, the Honey Vine, is it? One where if you win a challenge by 5 or more, gain a power. And opposite that we have the Iron Throne, another King's Road, Moon Boy, and Maester Crescent. So Ryan needs to be careful. We must put any bodyguards down, because the Crescent can come along and say no. So we're on to the first plot phase. Let's see what we're going to decide. Martin just taking a bit of time to think about his plots. And it is the Honey Wine. It is the location that I believe Ryan has put there. Okay, we have Time of Plenty into Retaliation. Interesting opening plot. So, obviously Martin had to choose Ryan to go first, so assumably Ryan is going first.
Alright, 6 for me.
Assume they also Ryan felt quite safe to putting up just Brienne and duping Brienne as well, because of course Bara doesn't tend to run much. But we have a Rose Garden brought out, which is then knelt to bring out a Garden Caretaker. Ryan's double checking that he does have 10 gold. The King's Road is popped, reduced by 1 to make it the next character 4 cheaper. And we have King Renly. And we have Marjorie Tyrell put out. That's core Marjorie.
I'm a lady in waiting.
And she's given a Lady in Waiting as a dupe. So not a bad first turn. I would dare say even if Ryan does have a dupe of Renly, he probably wouldn't play it against Bara, because there's a good chance they have a king, at which point he will be actually he can't save in case there is any shenanigans. So Melisandre is brought out with the King's Road, and Renly is knelt. Dupe and Crescent as well. So then Martin is not playing Valor. There is a chance Ryan is playing Valor.
Spent 2 in the King's Road.
We have Dragon's Port brought out. Bit surprised that potential wasn't brought out sooner to get the discount on Mel. But it is going to get used anyway. For a copy of 5 followers.
That's all you got?
And now we pass over to Ryan, who I believe just says passing challenges. Probably makes sense, because there's no point sending Brienne into a challenge when she can defend 2 challenges by herself. Because
when she kneels, she can give herself the strength, can't she?
Not really, no. You kneel her to choose a character and they get +3. So I can kneel her to give her +3, but then she's not going to do anything. If I could stand her, she could be a 6-drop defender.
But obviously here with, yeah, there's no point really, sorry, I was listening to what the guys were saying. Just a couple questions about Marjorie. So yeah, obviously there's no point really Ryan doing a challenge, because Brienne can defend 2 challenges. And get around that way, whereas if you go into that first challenge, -1, then your best you could hope was challenger, maybe a Marge, and yeah, just defending would be far, far better. So I believe I have an intrigue here coming from Melisandre. Ryan needs to decide whether he wants to let it go unopposed or try and block it. But that would take Marjorie out. Oh, for a little bird right now to give Brett an intrigue icon. Or the old classic left and right. And there goes unopposed. Ryan probably thought it's better off here to see what other challenges come in. He can always then make Brienne strength 8 and defend both. Ryan reminding there, Martin, it was 2 claim. So we have a sorry, we have a Hedge Knight and the Sir Greenpool taken as claim. Now to decide, is going to be any more challenges. So Martin's having a think here. The problem is, it's probably the best option is then to pass challenges, because if you go in for that challenge with butter bumps, you're just going to give he's going to be discarding a card. Ryan will be winning that challenge, and it's obviously if you can get it to kneel by doing the military first. So that's an interesting opener, because retaliation. Because only was it 4 reserve? Which, on the first turn, that seems a bit of a waste, if I don't mind me saying. See, for me, retaliations in Bara seems like a good closer. So we've got filthy accusations into another time of plenty.
You can go first. Sure.
This guy again?
So Renly is knelt, which is probably quite a good choice here with the complete takes crossing out of the equation. And assume he's got another Allure card somewhere in his hand, so he can potentially get another kneel off. So we had the Rose Garden knelt. And we have the Knight of Flowers put into play. Interesting, not kneeling the gun caretaker. Maybe he wants to keep his options open, so he's got can have another character go into a challenge, so that way he can do all 3 challenges without having to kneel Brienne, and Brienne can defend. Probably would make a lot of sense. So then we have the Arbor Knight played out. So we've got 4 gold here for from Martin to spend.
Spend one.
So 1 gold is spent to milk Marge. I might have milked Brienne there. Don't know. Stop that renowned on defense, which is going to be a pain to get through. I mean, until you see Renly, Marge is useful, but she's not amazing. It's only when Renly comes out, not Renly, sorry, Randall comes out, that she starts really kicking into overdrive. So we've got 2 gold spent. Oh, and Neil. So we've got the Rollor trigger with Celise hitting the board. Brian saying, yeah, the garden caretaker, that's who you want to kneel, isn't it?
Not too fussed about her now, I suppose. I'm going to kneel.
So he's going to kneel Brienne.
Oh, no, actually, no.
No, Knight is going to go for Knight of Flowers. Probably best to go for Knight of Flowers here, because now if... Because if Ryan does want to do all 3 challenges, Brienne probably would have to go in now. Doesn't have to, but you know, can you rely on an Arbonite, a garden caretaker, and Marge to win 3 challenges? Is it even really worth them winning 3 challenges?
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to do that. And I will.
So we've got consolidation of power.
Is that right? Is it cost or strength?
It's cost.
It's strength. So we have consolidation of power brought in to kneel the Arbonite and Marge.
I've got a power.
Yeah, there you go. The rush is on.
So Orion passes challenges. Now, if he was going to play that, I definitely would have knelt Brienne with Marge, with Mel, sorry, because so whatever his name is, the Knight of Flowers can obviously only defend 1 challenge. Now that you've got Brienne out, she can defend both challenges, stops the unopposed. Even if she loses, it doesn't really cost anything. You know, you got to put in 6 strength to win that power, which is doable, but you're putting a lot in to do it. Okay, so he's giving an intrigue icon to Butterbumps. He's going to do an intrigue challenge.
We'll do reaction first. Should I do the insights after this?
Yeah. Keywords come last.
And we have another Arbonite taken for claim. And we've got insight off Butterbumps. Not Butterbumps, sorry, Moonboy. same character. He's basically as Butterbumps now. He's got an intrigue icon. So there's no point really winning the power challenge because he's got no power to steal. So you might as well pass there and take Dom.
Military can't be done.
Military. There's no real point doing military. There's too many chuds to claim.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game. You're gradually going to win on dominance. I'm going to sit here. My 1 power on my Arbonite.
I'm going to pass challenges.
Sure. So pass challenges and takes Dom. Now this with obviously the last game when Martin had Stannis out. This would have become oppressive quickly. But without Stannis, the resetting of the characters each turn, it's kind of taking the pressure off Ryan a bit here. Yeah, I mean, yes, he is currently 3-1 down, and the 1 power's on the Arbonite, the one of the few characters you don't want. So, sorry, 4-1 down. But at the same time, you know this deck can, especially when it's set up properly, it can win a game in 2 turns. It could potentially win a game in a turn, but definitely 2 turns. So we have confiscation into filthy accusations. So you're going to get rid of that milk.
I'm going to kneel.
Half tempted to let it go through and then win dominance. At which point I get the character back.
It's going to be Marge or Renly.
So you're talking about Marge or Renly. I really think it should be Brienne each time because it's just taking that defense with her is really holding him up.
Let's kneel Renly.
We're going to go with Renly again, especially now that there's enough icons out there. Barring another consolidation of power, you're not really holding down the stopping the crossing at this point. So I believe Ryan chose Martin to go first. So with the Dragonstone port knelt to bring out the Dragonstone Faithful, who are knelt to bring out another one.
It's a faithful train.
You don't tend to see that as much anymore since Valor's come out. That could be a mistake.
Do another one.
I always assume Tyrell is running Valor. Martin just take his time thinking about it. It's going to sit on 4 gold.
That's interesting. What's your challenges?
Oh, right, okay, yeah. So,
Actually, no, I'm no.
yeah,
I thought I'd already
I
gone.
am first player, yeah.
It's not your challenges, not yet.
We can go there if you want.
Barge.
So Ryan forgot he actually had a marshalling there for a second. Plays out a pleasure barge. After Martin says, after Martin finished marshalling, Ryan went, "What's your challenges?" Oh wait, yeah, no, I got that whole marshalling thing to do. I hear that's useful, Ryan. So he's got a King's Road.
King's Road.
Well, it looks like there's not much he wants to play out. We've got a bodyguard on Renly. I guess I guess it's fairly useful because even if there's a king on the board, the bodyguard comes back to hand. It's not terminal.
What's the wording on it?
It means character abilities.
Done. I'll also sit on some gold.
So Ryan Autopasser sits on 2 gold.
I have an event.
So you have Seen in Flames played.
My hand's not great, so have fun.
Just after Ryan has
Oh, you've got 2 of those nightmares.
drawn to a lot of cards. Looks like there's at least 2 nightmares in there. Going to get rid of one of the nightmares. He's going to nail the Knight of Flowers again. I really think that should be Brienne.
I will leave that unopposed. I will put one on my runway.
Because think about it, worst case scenario, Brienne and Knight of Flowers are basically the same on attack. There's not really any difference. I mean, yes, Solaris has his special tech. You can't, only one person can defend. But really, with the current board state, that doesn't make a massive difference. But Brienne obviously gets the bonus if you choose not to attack, as Ryan has. Especially now as you've got to go first, so you've got to do your challenges first. Brienne can defend 2 challenges and then attack. Just seems so much better right now because there's a king on the board than kneeling Solaris.
Gold to give him +1 though, so he could do 2. She could do. She could give him 3. So let's put it like he could be 5.
So Martin, as you're listening, and I know you probably are, in this situation, Brienne seemed to be, to me, seems the far better option to kneel. Oh.
1 gold.
Just give someone an intrigue icon. Who's getting it?
It's going to be Crescent.
So paying 1 gold to give Crescent an intrigue icon.
I'm going to pay 1 gold
Who's getting it now?
to give.
So Moonboy's got an intrigue icon as well as Crescent.
Do you want to complete it and give the faithful
Yeah,
an intrigue icon
I've
as
done
well?
that previously.
I'm saying when you give the Dragonstone Faithful an intrigue icon as well. Just so they've all got intrigue icons.
5. Does that hang on. Should I work out? Yeah, that does it, doesn't it? 5.
And what I do remember, guys, this episode has a post credit scene Please let me think. It's the first time we'll be doing this.
Just fine.
So do stay tuned after the short credits just to see what it is.
Give him
I get one on. Yeah.
The stealth one is interesting, just yeah, it does make you think to kneel in, but no, I think Tyrell's
yeah, it's going to be 5.
So we have an intrigue for 5 coming in. Ryan obviously he could oppose this, but you'd be having to kneel the Armor Knight, kneel Marge to boost the strength, or just to block, and pay 2 gold to up the strength, which just seems a bit too much to make it worthwhile. And Ryan, let's go unopposed. So Martin's up to 5 power.
after this point. And then I will hang on to the
Okay, trigger his insights.
So insight to draw a card, and we had a garden caretaker as garden caretaker taking this claim.
I will go first.
yeah. So I'll do a military.
Side stuff.
Don't seem too thrilled. It's Thrones, it's good fun.
Must say that Ryan doesn't seem to
I'm not playing the Night's Watch.
seem too excited about playing this game.
On a chair instead of a wall.
I can steal
Oh yeah, I've got a chair there.
military
Yeah.
icon from him. Even if they don't have him then.
And that's the thing. I mean, I love Bara, but sometimes it can feel very oppressive for your opponent.
First intrigue.
But one of the people I wouldn't feel sorry for playing against is Ryan. You know, Ryan's been around the block a few times. He's pretty. He knows what to expect.
Even if they don't like it, you can still steal it. It's just, yeah. Okay. But yeah, we will name Tywin, although he only really gets used a bit more fun. Take someone else out.
So we have an intrigue of 3 coming in from, also 2, sorry, coming in from Marge, because of crossing, which is probably a good move here, because he'll get an idea of how much Martin wants to defend his hand, but whether he defends with Melisandre or defends with Celise, because obviously Celise will not fully block it, but Mel will. I think tempted I would actually probably defend with Mel anyway, because you're going to lose the power challenge. There's no two ways about that. So you might as well chud block that anyway. So get Mel to block to protect your hand. Ooh,
That and my last gold.
that's interesting. So he plays Ours of the Fury to bring Mr. Crescent into the challenge.
Red.
Who should now be standing. Yep, well remembered. To win, to fully oppose.
Red for 1.
He still, I guess he thinks he can defend the power, but maybe he can actually. So we have a military come in
Yeah, play.
to get, which goes unopposed, which the Dragonstone Faithful's been chosen as claim.
Yeah, I cast that one.
Power.
And then we have a power of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's okay.
10. Wow, what was that
Yeah,
over there?
unfortunately this deck's just
Oh, yeah, just a light bit of crossing.
Martin forgetting about crossing there, so
I believe you have 10.
yeah.
I'm going to win 2 challenges. Hell
You
yeah.
have 10. You have 10. You have 10. Right.
10 to 10.
I need that power. That's why I stood you up. God damn it.
No, no, let's have a replay.
Well, yeah. There you go. Ooh.
I didn't want to buy the deck at start, so I didn't want to say let's make
Right,
another deck.
right.
If you play the deck that I've already also.
Superior claim, is it?
I don't mind.
Let's go
Would you rather face
for.
much deck?
Let's kneel.
so quite sensibly are actually trying to block.
So I'll kneel all that.
So completely blocks us up the honey wine from triggering, but Ryan gets a power from crossing, a power from claim, and renowned. Dom goes to Martin, and after 3 turns of oppression, Ryan in 1 challenge basically gets back up to 5-all. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Even though you kind of got the foot on the throat of this. Even though you got your foot on the throat of this Tyrell's deck, they can quickly just get that power back. So you've got to keep it down. Crossing doesn't need many challenges. The amount of times I've done it with Greyjoy crossing and Tyrell crossing, where you kind of look okay, and bang, just shoot up the power, and a couple of challenges later, your opponent doesn't know what's hit them, and you've won the game.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
So we're on to the fourth plot this time.
I'm free. I lost one, didn't I? I lost that gardener.
I'm just choosing plots. You'll see Ryan's not used to his deck going quite this long.
Ready?
So we've got Clash of Kings into Wildfire. Yeah, probably a good time to play Wildfire, because Ryan's going to have to kill one of his good characters. Probably going to be the Knight of Flowers, though. Yes, which it is. Because of all the ones at the moment, he's probably one of the weaker Tyrell characters. He's still really good, don't get me wrong. Onto Martin, and he's going to kill Moonboy. I don't know if I would. Or would you? Maybe you have to. I know, I really like Moonboy.
Alright, draw.
And they draw up. Looks like Ryan is going first, maybe?
You're up. So I get 4 gold. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no. No, it is Martin's go first. So just thinking of his options. Both bears are kind of struggling for economy here a little bit. They've not seen much. So the King's Row played out, just having said there's not much economy. So the King's Road's knelt and sacrificed to bring out a 5 follower.
He's not going to get a challenge all game, is he?
I do try and pick on certain characters, unfortunately. You can't, I mean, I don't know if when you do that, you can't use that and get gold back, can you? That's just makes sense.
So I'm not 100% sure about using the King's Road there for the 5 followers. You've still got the gold.
Run that roll soon, come on.
I was wondering you might be able to see, hold on in case you see Bob next turn or Stannis.
Yep.
So another 3 gold character.
The chase.
Oh no, we have the Red Keep brought out.
All done.
I'm sitting on 1 gold.
1 gold to give Crescent an intrigue icon. Yeah, seems good. I'll be near this.
Obviously, you could use Fealty for the Red Keep.
Bumps.
So yeah, Butterbumps brought out.
Butter bumps. Butter pies grow on trees. I didn't use a challenge. Butter bumps if participate. There should be something to do with his allowance.
And we have a Wildling Scout brought out to give a nice little bit of stealth when they're sacrificed. And obviously, Moon Boy gets set on fire, and immediately Butterbumps appears. So keep a nice fool on the table. So on to Martin's pre-challenge actions.
Fine. Alright. Don't need to know that. That was coming in here telling us about your closing times. Please. I'm trying to play Thrones.
Interesting. Okay, so that would be 10, 11, 12, no, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12, yeah.
So it's -1 on the first one, okay.
Yes.
I do have play crossing, but it's you just
Might change what you
go.
want to play.
So that mill from 5, that can come in pretty quick, no problem there.
1, 2, 3. So
Yeah.
There will be.
Yeah.
Am I being rushed? I don't mind. If I'm slow, I'm slow, but you know.
Curious.
So Martin's thinking through his challenges.
is it hers? Yeah. Oh yeah, you get to go first.
We're playing a road race.
Oh no, I need to know which one to lose it. So.
Right, I'm going to do.
Intrigue, is it?
Sorry.
No, it's my bad. I started doing it.
Do you want me to go first anyway for challenges?
No, my fault. I'm not sure first. I'll
Sorry,
go
I'm
first.
happy to go first for challenges. if you want.
Intrigue.
Five to 9 area, sorry.
So looks like an intrigue of 6.
Okay. Any past pre-challenge action?
Yeah, main view taking work.
That's good. Seems pretty good. And then I do.
I'm going to take a challenge action.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal the hound.
So I'm just deciding here.
I'll do an intrigue.
Yeah.
I'll use.
That's going to be I have a handicap in my hand.
It's going to stop the unopposed. By the looks of it. Maybe not.
I'll take 2 for vengeance. Well, you get it out of me anyway. It just means
Let it out.
God has quite a lot. I don't like to see this.
Yeah.
It counts for the
I can put someone in to defend it, at which point I can win it.
I don't think you can. I think it's just basically it's they remember reading up on it. Basically, it's when they go to resolution, if there's 0 strength on that side, then no one will do it. Basically.
What target man?
And Ryan, let's go unopposed.
Unopposed.
Because that's claim, isn't it? Claim is now just now.
Claim soak.
And got a deeper Brienne taken for claim from intrigue. And as Martin correctly pointed out there, that was a bit of claim sake from Ryan.
Then I guess we might as well just say.
Nothing.
And then he passed the challenges.
Alright.
So
Intrigue from Ryan. An intrigue of 2.
Use that for this still count.
That's at the end of the channel. It's what
I went down.
So that can be boosted.
Yes.
3, so that could go up to 7.
No, yeah, so.
alright, that was not so bad.
Yep.
Unopposed.
And Martin lets it go unopposed.
It's the sign, isn't it? The old hand shuffle. They're all shit.
Martin's saying it doesn't matter, they're all bad.
It's rubbish round.
Ours is the Fury taking his claim.
I do.
Now, interesting, he could have used that to block it and stand a character. Because he still had Fealty, he still got a gold left.
Military.
Have a military coming in from Brienne.
Well, now that that's gone,
Guess that's unopposed.
yeah.
Oh, I see, he was trying to hold on to it for the military. So the red wine gains a power. Oh, so the honey wine, sorry. One for unopposed. Going to have claim. It's going to be a hard choice now for Martin, having reduced the size of the board with wildfire. Going to take the fiery followers. And then we've got renowned on Brienne. So a nice free power swing there.
Sacrifice.
For
Give her stealth.
Ryan's going to sacrifice Wilding Scout to give
Power for 5.
Marge stealth. Stealthing Maester Crescent.
well, I can only oppose for 4.
Because obviously, because of the red keep, he could defend with both the power characters and still win the challenge.
So I take an extra 1 from you.
So we have an extra power taken because of Clash of Kings. So that's crossing, 2 power claim.
Did the claim already, didn't you? Did not win by 5. Cool.
Okay, so that puts Ryan up to 11 power.
Your Dom?
Dom goes to Martin, bringing it back up to 5. I'm going to say, I think potentially that wildfire last turn was a bit premature and might have hurt Martin here a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to think. It's hard to kind of look back on it retrospectively, but that board presence, I think, helped him a lot. So you have trading with the Pentoshi into goes to Harrenhal.
It will not trigger. It's martial of not put into play.
So the Knight of Flowers is brought back into play.
Right, so do you want to take the
I will take my 3 gold.
Ryan has let Martin go first. We get the fiery followers also brought back in. Martin's asking if they got to trigger for Mel, but obviously they do not, unfortunately, because it's brought back into play, not played or marshalled. Quite a precise difference. So Martin's got 10 gold.
I'm going to kneel him to get rid of bodyguards.
So he's going to Neil's Crescent to get rid of the bodyguard, which is interesting. Maybe Ryan's only got 2 plots left. He's thinking he's going to be getting around to Valor very soon.
Yeah, I was going to say no, actually, yeah. I was deliberately not attacking with her for that reason alone.
And I you did that just to hope that you wouldn't attack as much.
I will take away.
Because it's a very
So Dragonstone Port is knelt to bring out a Shari Priestess to kneel a Butterbumps and Renly.
I mean, to be honest, it's just, if you don't have anything to do,
What is an action?
So I think some people are thinking about it with the Baratheons, because they get around, don't they? Because you're going to have a Baratheon and Tyrell, Martell, Lannister.
That's passive and passive, isn't it?
Yep.
I've got another note too, yeah. Technically, actual player over it, don't worry.
Oh, no, I'm not doing it.
Milk put on Marge.
On Marge.
It might be worth whacking that on Brienne,
2 cards in hand.
stopping the defence and stopping the renowned.
Anything else?
Don't know, unless you think Stanley Randy's about to hit the table.
Yeah, it's the last game. We're seeing some fun games now.
Yeah, it's the last one.
So Martin's last card. I hope it's good. Oh, so he's got 2 cards. I do like to apologise.
Okay. 2 cards left there. One of those is Valor.
Martin will say, just checking the plot, say 2 cards left. One of those is Valor. Pretty sure one is Valor.
It's one of those ones that's so aggro that if it can aggro, it wins. If it can't aggro, it loses. There's no middle ground.
never really used this one yet, but I used a lot in Max Watch.
Use that.
So Bob hits the table.
He is. Big Bobby B.
Yeah. Nice crossing is a load of fun.
Does sound interesting. I mean, you get.
You done?
The issue is Bara.
Let's see if Martin can be a little bit more aggressive now. He's got the Bobster, King Bob. Now it's actually slightly more interesting. He actually decided to get rid of that bodyguard.
Finally.
Because if Ryan does play Valor now, Randall can't be saved. So we have Street of Sisters and Renly played out. Not Renly, Randall, sorry. I always get those two mixed up. So this board state for Ryan's looking pretty oppressive now.
Even the second one increases his strength, doesn't it?
That's the third. Well,
If Martin's not careful, Ryan could actually pretty much win this on defence.
Does it not then go up? Alright, so this
that doesn't count as a strength increase.
that would be even better for him.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Because it wasn't a in place like friendly game. It is not a if I'm cheating myself because I'm not learning.
I didn't do much.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Well, the strength keeps increasing. He's really good. Yeah. So right now he's 6, 7, 8, right? Yeah. So that would make him 9 if I defended with him. So the math is horrible. Like 10 with 10, but then he's 10.
So I'm going to do.
We have an Intrigue Bugsfoot coming in from the Shy Priestess, which I think is a really good move. See if Ryan wants to defend with Marge. Takes all 3 icons away, so Ryan can't do all 3 challenges back. Oh, we have that Nightmares and Bob. In all fairness, we did see those Nightmares back in the Scene of Flames turn, didn't we? He had 2, and he got rid of 1.
Yeah, I'm nightmaresing him.
Oh, you're nightmaresing him?
Not nightmaresing.
Oh, right.
What's the point in that?
Oh, right. So he's
blanked for the entire round. Just in case you got out my hand for the.
So that changes things a lot. So we have unopposed power, and we have Sir Royston taken for claim. Ryan sitting on 1 gold and 1 card. Both only got 1 card in hand at this point. The hands are pretty battered.
So that Nightmares just takes away.
Yeah, so Martin just clarifying there that basically the 2 traits stay.
Guys, you lost me momentarily. My cable decided to come out of my mic. So obviously, just in case I did lose it, obviously Bob's been Nightmaresed. Martin was just double checking that that Nightmares left the traits, and to get rid of everything else. So this now does make a bit of a problem for Martin. I mean, Martin would have to fall back this fairly hard, because if he did a power challenge now, even if Bob wasn't, he's passed. Okay, even if Bob wasn't Nightmares, then that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he'd only got strength 14, so Ryan could have fully defended it and got a load of renowned. So we have an Intrigue of 2 coming in from Marge, which is opposed by the 5 followers.
I win.
So claim is the last card, which we didn't get to see, unfortunately. Martin, keep your discard pile in sight next time. Any joking, guys. I always thank anyone who does let me record. It's very much appreciated. So we have a military coming in from the Knight of Flowers, what looks of it.
I'd be happy with any of those. Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
That's always the downside of it. And your opponent goes, yeah, you're like, yeah, they're all 4 good cards. What have I got? Nothing.
It's more the fact that I'm not drawing on next turn. I'm either getting renowned, getting +2 strength,
Military.
you're not attacking,
Oh,
or
yeah, building
That's
plus
fine. Up on the first challenge.
and they all help him. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, but it's the fact that if I win a challenge, I also then. So what do I want here?
And that goes unopposed.
Unopposed.
So trigger the red wine to gain a power from that. Trigger the unopposed. And
Weirdly, I'm not.
so that puts Ryan up to 10, 14. Can Ryan not win the power here? So it's power for 14.
So that's
12.
for 12. 12.
Isn't it 14?
I'll do power defend for 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Oh, hang on. Oh no, he's melted.
He's
not.
he's nightmares.
Nightmares, yeah. So I'll defend for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I think they made a mistake there because I'm sure that's power for 14, isn't it?
You win.
Okay.
Because of crossing.
Oh yeah. It's below the-
So Ryan should have won the game there.
that.
Butterbumps gets. I'm not wrong about it, guys. Randall and there's not something I missed.
Oh, and the challenges.
You took dominance.
So yeah, I'm not sure. So unless I missed something,
Fair play.
Renly and
Alright,
Brienne.
next block.
That's 10. Crossing makes them 14. Okay, never mind. That should have been game, but I don't think it's going to be too much difference at this point.
Some deadness coming now, isn't it?
Let's say, guys, let me know below if I was wrong. So we have Song of the Summer into Here to Serve.
Alright. Your choice on initiative. You're tied, but you've got less power.
Well, sorry, sitting on just with on 14-7. So you think Ryan's probably gonna win at this point? They're probably. It's gonna be so hard for Martin to do any challenges because the amount of renown that's on the other side of the board. He's got no cards in hand, so he's relying on top decking.
I need 1 power.
No, I was just looking at this basically.
So Martin's gonna go first.
So here to serve.
Here to serve. Brings in I can never remember the guy's name. The Knight of the Black Horse drinking game. If I say can't remember the guy's name. It's the 3-cost Maester. It's basically Maester Windermere and Bara. Maester, I'm a power monocon with stealth.
Alright, you're right.
So 3 gold for Martin. What can he do here?
It's fine. I've got to learn these things to count properly. I thought I had it because of the plot. No, one old.
And then.
Okay, let's
Dupes the Red Keep.
Oh, actually,
let's
stood. I'll just use that and do that.
Yep.
And just
There's Consolidation of Power on Marge.
Marge. Unless you want
I
to.
did wonder.
Yeah, that's why I have to.
I win if you do that, by the way.
Sorry?
And that gives the game to Ryan. Okay.
You want to.
So the mistake didn't obviously make a difference. Thanks to both guys for letting me record. And don't forget that post-credits scene. And as always, guys, it's been emotional.
Oh,
And
sorry?
then we bring it back.
Yeah, it didn't come out. Sorry, I'm just being challenged. aren't I?
Put your power down into 1. Why not?
Save himself.
Martin, the camera's still rolling. I'm going to keep that in.
I know.